every woman's dream is they think they're going to open up a clothing store.
I don't feel like the boutique down the street is my competition.
I feel like it would be a really humbling experience.
So I still think like, why? This isn't fair.
We've got Jesus, but here on earth, I need you to be, you cannot add to my stress.
At whatever season we're in, wherever we are, but try to look for what can I learn here.
I'm here sharing inspiring stories about fearless entrepreneurial women to help encourage you to live your life unapologetically. I'm your host, Heather Blankenship. Welcome to the Unapologetically Me podcast.
On today's episode, we actually have something special going on. I am in Tupelo, Mississippi, which I'm from Northeast Mississippi, y'all, and it is so amazing to be back in my home state talking to some ladies who own businesses here, who are entrepreneurs. And as a kid growing up here, I never imagined that there would be women who own businesses in the area. And our first guest from the area is Miss Amber Mooneyham, and her and I actually went to school together when we were kids. We grew up together here, and all of the fun stories, embarrassing stories, fun moments, we were here for that. So to come back and get to interview her has been so much fun. She owns a women's clothing boutique, and she's owned it for over a decade, y'all. And there are so many women who think it would be so much fun to own a clothing store, and most of them don't work out. They don't last. So we're going to be talking to her about what it takes for something like that to continue to perform year after year. She's also a realtor, so she has a ton of knowledge about real estate, as well as being a mom of 3 amazing kids. So let's get into it. Amber, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
So I'm so excited to talk to you because it's been a while since I've been back in Mississippi, and it's so weird to have known each other as kids, and now you're a realtor helping me find a house.
Yes.
You've gotten to see how picky I am. But I think it's important to know what you're looking for. Otherwise, you end up looking at 100 different houses and you still haven't found what you want if you haven't narrowed down exactly what you're looking for. But over a decade ago, you opened a women's boutique. And it actually started out as clothes and all kinds of home stuff. I can remember when you first started in that little building, side of a building, next to the flower shop. And I feel like every woman's dream is they think they're going to open up a clothing store, especially if they have any interest in fashion whatsoever. They're like, oh, I want a store, and I'm going to pick out all these clothes. I'm going to go to market, and it's going to be amazing. So most people don't last. They close after not very long.
Yes.
And you've been doing this for over a decade.
Yes. So we will be open 13 years in August. Yes.
That's a long time.
Yes.
And the highs,
and I still enjoy it. It's still fun.
The highs and the lows and all the things that come along with business. Because it's not just we're going to sell some clothes. It's a business. You got to have employees. You've got a budget. You got to market. It's not just picking out clothes. You have to run a business.
Yes, it's a lot. It's a lot more than what we thought it was going to be when we initially started. We started really small in the side, like we had that little side building of the flower shop and stayed there for 2 years. And then saw that we enjoyed it, that we really liked it. We thought we'd go ahead and branch out, go a little bigger. So we moved to the location we're in now 2 years after we opened, and we've been there since. And it does definitely have its challenges. It's not all fun and picking out the cute stuff. But although it's hard work, I still enjoy it and still enjoy going.
So you originally started with your sister.
Yes.
What happened there?
So,
which is a whole podcast in itself.
It probably is. So my sister and I started it. I had 2-year-old twin boys at the time. And my sister had a little girl literally the same age. They're 1 month apart to the day. And we opened when they were 2. And we were together until they started kindergarten. And one of my twins has special needs. And the school district had decided or agreed with us that he would need a one-on-one. Some call it a paraprofessional, some call it a personal assistant. But the school district agreed that he would need a personal assistant. So they started hiring, and my sister called and said, I've been praying about it, and I feel like I'm supposed to be Peyton's personal assistant. And we all kind of thought, nope, there's no way the school district will hire her. And she applied anyway. And she went, and they agreed that she was the best fit to be his personal assistant. So in doing that, she was giving up being, I say free, being at the store. We took turns. And so my twins will actually start high school this year, and she has been with him as his personal assistant.
How amazing is that? And what a blessing that he gets to, because I always think of when my kids are with a babysitter, they're with somebody that they're not going to know in the future. They're not building a relationship. But if my mom comes and keeps them for when I go on work trips and things like that, they're building a relationship with grandma, right? It's like this huge blessing to have those other deep relationships besides just your parents, right?
Oh, yeah.
And what a blessing that is it Peyton?
Mm-hmm.
He's getting
Peyton
to do that with his aunt and spend that time and have that relationship.
Oh, it has been. And then their bond is, it's precious to watch, and then it is a blessing to know that, and to know that his needs are
you can
very
relax
well met,
and know
right.
he's taken care of instead of worrying about what's happening to him at school.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Yes.
Okay, so then it's been a long time since you and your sister split with that.
Yes.
I went in there day before yesterday, and there was a sweet little girl behind the counter. So
Yeah.
you're not the one doing that anymore. You're not doing the day-to-day.
So I try my best. I usually stop by the store every day at some point. I'm not there every day, all day. I still work one day just so I have my eyes on everything. I have, a good grasp of what's going on or what we need. I still handle, of course, all like the business side of the business, not just the day-to-day, like selling everything. But so we have several younger girls, little college-age girls that help us, and some that have been with us for years. So
talk me through it. A girl gets an idea that I want to have a clothing store. Tell us like the stuff that sucks. Like, why is it not the, oh my gosh, I want to have this clothing store? And
I wish Greg was here right now. I am not. So there's a ton that go in, after you order something. That's the fun part, and then that fun part is over until the box comes in, and you're excited that oh yay, what we picked out is here. Or market's a blast. I still love going to market. Some of our vendors come to us,
and so for people who don't know, what does it mean to go to market?
Okay, so market is usually a week long, and it's just a large show where all vendors from all over will come in, and they will have their product, whether it's shoes.
Let's paint a picture. Okay. You usually go to the Atlanta market?
We do. We've tried Atlanta, Dallas, and New York. Atlanta's our favorite and closest.
So imagine being in a giant mall that is how many stories?
12 floors.
12 floors tall. Going through clothes, shoes, accessories, everything you can imagine.
You get off of each floor, and they kind of have them organized, like accessories, shoes, contemporary clothes.
How do you even narrow down what to buy?
It's a lot. You kind of have, you have to go in with a plan. Our first few markets were, trial and error. Like, let's just get there and let's just go. Now we kind of lay out a plan so we don't just waste our time. We know our vendors that are like our tried and true vendors, our vendors who sell well, who have a good price point. We really try to keep our price point that people can afford, which sometimes can be hard, like especially like in the last year with prices changing and everything is going up. Inflation has been hard, but we still try to keep it at a price point where, people can come in and grab a top and not feel horrible about purchasing it for themselves. So we make a plan, and we kind of know what floor they're on, so we don't go up and down all day saying, oh, wait, they were on this floor. We kind of have a plan of what we're going to hit and then what day we're going to hit it. And then literally you go in, and it is vendor after vendor, just like you're in a mall, all 12 floors of just going in and picking out and kind of coordinating when will it ship, when will it get here, Like if you're buying for the spring, you want to make sure you get enough for Easter, Mother's Day, graduation. You don't want it to come too late. So those are the little things like you think, oh, this is going to be super fun. Market is also hard work. It's a lot of work. Because if you order too much and it comes in late, you're stuck with a ton of graduation
coats and it's the summertime. Yeah.
Right. So you kind of have to make a plan, and then hope that it works out. Sometimes it's a flop, and your vendors that you have always shopped with, they might get a new designer, and you go in there and their clothes are not going to fit our clientele. Or their needs. We kind of know what our clients want, or we know what sells, what they come for. And when a new designer comes, it can be an off season, and then you not buy a single thing from somebody you've bought from for the past 6 years.
Listen, y'all, I know today's episode is inspiring, but inspiration alone will never carry us to our ultimate goals. That's why I started the Society of Entrepreneurial Women. It's a mastermind for high-performing female investors and entrepreneurs who are living their lives unapologetically. In a world where most people don't get us, or they try to keep us confined in a small box, the Society exists to turn off the brakes and set you free. We have weekly calls covering investing, wealth building, health, relationships, family, and a whole lot more. We have small tribes to hold each other accountable to our goals. We have in-person, ladies-only retreats to disconnect and drive each other towards our dreams. And most importantly, this is a community where you can be unapologetically you. Celebrate your wins, scream your successes from the top of the rooftop, become best friends with women who get you. We're 3 years in, and I can honestly say my best friends today are all from the Society. Click the link in the show notes to learn more.
So we've picked out the clothes. We're waiting for them to ship. Talk us through some of those other things that are really tough. Maybe things you didn't expect to be as tough as it is.
The toughest thing, I guess, we kind of battle with, we try to be, I say, really different. Like we try not to order the exact same thing that another boutique has. So really try, and I try, if somebody calls and they're looking for, oh, hey, I just saw this at such and such, I'll say, do y'all have it and how much is it? I try not to stock what somebody else stocks. So I'm like, hey, they have, or I know they have it, go get it from them. Competition, I try real hard to be supportive of other businesses, but that has been a little bit, I say, of a challenge. Like, there's enough for everybody to do well. Like I don't feel like the boutique down the street is my competition. I say, I hope they do well, and I hope they hope we do well. But the hardest part for me, I kind of roll with all that. I try not to let any of that bother me or stress me out. But I say the numbers side of everything, making sure I don't overspend in a season where it's not our busy season. Like a lot of people are always shocked when I say summer's not our busy season. We're always slower in the summer. When we very first started, a sweet friend who was kind of a mentor to us said, your J months are going to be your slow months. So June, July, and January. So making sure that we stay on track to not overspend in a season that's fixing to be your slower season and get yourself in a bind. Like we kind of had to learn that was kind of there was a little bit of a learning curve there, because I would think, oh, I ordered it early enough, but then it wouldn't come in until later. And then you just have to be real careful when you do order and it does come in. You have a few days to check the items, and if there's an issue, to get it sent back, or either it's yours.
Meaning if there's damage on something, you need to know pretty much immediately.
Yes.
Otherwise, they're not crediting you for that, and you're lost. You've lost that money.
Right. And there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that.
So for the girl saying, okay, I'm fine with that, Amber, I'm ready to jump in, what kind of advice would you give them?
I say really do your research first. Like look at your area, look at your market, like look and see like, okay,
what are we looking for? How are we researching? Mm-hmm. What are we looking for?
I say like when we go into a showroom, I keep my customers in mind. So like know who your customer is, who are you going to target. So our customer base is mainly, I say 20 to 50. So when I go in and we kind of we're looking at different options, I think in mind, not necessarily is it my favorite, but do I have a customer that is going to purchase this item?
And I think one of the things you do is, you still take Danielle and Kimberly with you?
We take...
So my cousin goes with you, a girl y'all been friends with since high school, and y'all all kind of have a different style,
We
too.
do.
And so it probably helps that you've got multiple opinions when you're going to market.
Yes.
It's not just yours.
And then my mom has gone with us some. So my mom is in her 60s, and like it's good to get her opinion. So I always just say, like, know your market, like know who your customer is, know who you're going to sell to, and then your budget, like know what your budget is. It's easy. It is easy to blow your budget in 5 minutes of market. and you can go in one showroom.
You can buy all shoes and then have nothing else to sell.
You can blow your budget. So we want to buy good quality. So it's really, really hard to say. You might have 20 styles of shoes that you like, but your budget is supporting 3 styles. And then to have to be disciplined.
Because you're not buying one item. There's minimum requirements. And then shoes, everything. Because there's so many sizes.
Of everything. And that too is a challenge sometimes when somebody will say, oh, you're out of the larges. I need a large. Can you order a large? When you reorder, it's 3 smalls, 3 mediums, 3 large. And if they offer extra small and extra large, it's 3 of those as well. So it's not, I can't just reorder one. Everybody, and then you have to purchase, a minimum at each vendor. So the minimum might be $500. The minimum might be $2,000. So for them to let you reorder, so you kind of there's some research there. Like, what is your vendor going to require you to order? How often are they going to ask you to reorder? Some of our vendors, you have to order every 4 weeks. Like, you have to place an order, or you lose your account with them, and then you kind of have to start over with the application process of becoming a vendor.
Ladies, it's time to redefine the conference experience with the Society of Entrepreneurial Women Retreats. Step inside a world tailored for women just like you, where you can lead, learn, and unwind in style. Our retreats offer everything from insightful investing sessions to fun activities like salsa dancing, boat cruises, food tours, and so much more, ensuring you come back not just inspired, but truly refreshed. Join a community that celebrates you wholly and supports your every endeavor. Ready for a retreat that changes the game? Visit the link in our show notes and find out how you can be part of this exclusive experience.
So changing gears a little bit, you're not only a business owner and a realtor, you are a wife and mom to 3 beautiful babies.
Thank you.
Not babies anymore.
No, my boys, their birthday is today, and they are 15.
Can't believe that. I can remember when you were pregnant, and I swear we got a picture because Peyton was so small. Was there a picture of your husband's wedding ring on his arm?
Yes, so actually Brody was smaller than Peyton. So Peyton, I carried them 1 placenta, 2 sacks. So if you know anything about carrying twins, they had the option to either be identical or paternal. And the membrane that separated them was so small they were not sure what they would be. I ended up delivering at 30 weeks. So I was, yes, I was due at the end of September, but I had them in July.
Wow.
So, of course, they were tiny. Peyton was 3 pounds, 8 ounces, and Brody was 1 pound, 14 ounces.
Wow.
Yes, so Greg's wedding ring fit all the way up Brody's arm.
That's so crazy to think about.
It is.
And so Peyton is special needs.
Yes, so the night that they were born, they were both flown. I delivered in Amory, Mississippi, and they were flown to Blair-Batson, that's in Jackson, Mississippi. They were flown there that night because Brody was too small for Amory to keep, and of course we wanted to keep the boys together. And Brody having to be flown saved Peyton's life. He ended up having a brain bleed. They said the way I carried them, he was taking everything. It's called IUGR, intrauterine growth restriction, and Peyton was taking everything from Brody. And so his blood was super thick, and he ended up having a brain bleed at birth. And any damage to the brain at birth is considered CP. So he's diagnosed with cerebral palsy. Where he had his bleed, it affects all muscles. So cognitively, he's very much intact, very, very smart, but he needs help with everything physical. Yes.
I feel like we don't talk enough about, it's very much talked about autism and special needs kids, but it's kind of a subject that's tiptoed around. We don't talk a lot about how the mama feels, and it's not always okay to talk about the good and the bad. And what life is like and how it changes your life when you are meeting the needs of not only a special needs kid, but now you have 3. You had a daughter a few years later. How old is she now?
So Ren is 7, and the twins turned 15 today.
So we're juggling 3 kids with very different needs.
Yes.
So talk about that.
Well, I always say that I literally take it a day at a time. Like, you don't really know. I mean, we're in a routine. We, have our schedule down, but every day might, hold something new. Brody has always been fabulous with Peyton. Very patient with them, very kind. He's a great brother. Ren has had to, and she is now, she's very compassionate and kind now. She's just had to learn, Peyton's needs are very different. I do have to give more time and attention to Peyton as far as like helping him eat and, helping him change. He's non-ambulatory, so he is primarily in a wheelchair. He has a gait trainer, which is, think, a big walker. He does walk in a gait trainer, but it's large, and at our house, he is just in his chair. So he does need full assistance with, whether he's moving or whether he is wanting to watch TV or go into the kitchen, he has to have assistance. He is learning to drive a power chair.
Okay.
And he is loving it. He thinks it's the best thing ever.
So it's almost like having a baby that gets bigger.
Right.
Because you're continuing to help with the feeding and the clothing. And
you still have someone who is 100% dependent on you. So, and I always, there are days that I'm still pissed about it. I still think like, why this isn't fair. But when you look at him, he just radiates joy. He's always happy. He rarely gets frustrated. And you see how content he is with being able to do what he can do for himself independently. So it just continues to, push me to help. Like today, he's at therapy right now. I want him to be as independent as possible, but I also want to find joy where we are.
So I want to ask you something that might hurt your feelings.
No.
So when we were kids, you had great parents, you were popular, you're the cheerleader, you meet your husband in college and he's amazing and y'all are this adorable couple, you get married early, and I feel like it would be a really humbling experience to struggle like that with your babies, because I can't imagine how hard that's been. But you were like this perfect girl who had all these great things going for you. And I feel like, and obviously I left Mississippi in like 9th grade, so I think you were in 10th grade, so I didn't see the second half of high school. But from my perspective, you had all these great things going, and that seems like one of the first things that were really hard for you.
Yeah. Well, you give me way too much credit. I was not that
you had this beautiful
great.
singing voice. You
Definitely, I definitely was not that great. You make me sound way better than I was. But I do say that for the most part of my life, which of course we all have
Stuff.
yes, disappointments and different things. But and that was a question like I struggled with for a minute. I thought I really, really try to do the right thing.
You're singing at church.
I really try to like to be as helpful as I can, as kind as I can. Like I can always remember my mom saying, "You always be kinder than necessary." I always felt like I don't know why. Like I
did what you were supposed to.
I felt
Why
like
did this happen?
why, but. And I may never, and I won't ever know why Peyton had a brain bleed or why, he struggles the way he does. But I believe that God calls us to, whatever situation we're in, to put our faith in Him and to know that He is definitely going to carry us. I know that He has definitely grown me in my personal walk with Him, I say not just with Peyton, and as a parent, period. I feel
think when
like
you
after
have struggles, it causes you to see people in the world differently. It makes you more compassionate. It makes you more patient with people.
Oh, for sure.
And it makes you feel like you never know what somebody's going through.
No.
That you don't see.
Right. And I think what is important shifts. Like what all I thought was so important is not that important.
Matter. Yeah.
It's really not. It's really not. So I try to find whatever season we're in, wherever we are, I try to just find the joy. And then I try to look for what can I learn here? What can I learn, or what can I maybe share that would help somebody else. And then I take everything this far. I look this far ahead. I'm like, I don't have it all figured out. I don't know where we're going to be. I don't know what next year holds, but I try to look like that far ahead.
And how does your husband play into this?
He is extremely optimistic about everything. Almost sometimes where it's just aggravating. I'm like, are you serious? Everything, we're going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It'll all work out. And it always does work out. And it is always fine. It might not look the way I thought it was going to look, but it's fine. And I know, like, we talked to a panel not too long ago, and it was for families with children who have special needs. And I had never even heard him say, but he said that, of course, he's sports everything, loves football, baseball, basketball, soccer. He's always been super competitive and is very athletic. And so he said in his mind, when the doctor looked at us and said, "You're having twins," I cried because I had held a baby before. He had not. And so he was like, "We're fine." But we found out shortly after that it was 2 boys, and he was thrilled to have 2 boys. So he said, a couple weeks ago when we were talking, he said, so in my mind I thought I'm fixing to have a pitcher and a catcher, a quarterback and a receiver. And so he said, so things are great, but in a very different way. So, and he doesn't express much about how he feels about things, but he takes everything in stride. And I get encouragement from him watching that, not much bothers him, and he finds joy in the small things.
So I feel like as a mom, we have so many things on our shoulders. When you're running a business and you're managing the house and you've got the kids and all of the stress even the things from like remembering what kid eats what and whose birthday is when and what trip is coming up and what have you or haven't you booked, we carry so much weight. I regularly tell my husband that I need him to be my peace. Like, we've got Jesus, but here on earth, I need you to be. You cannot add to my stress. Yeah. And I feel like Greg does a good job with that with you.
Oh, he does. Yeah.
He's the one that we're going to be okay. Everything is great.
Yeah.
And he's your level. He's not like this, like we are.
No,
with the highs
and I
and the
am
lows.
like that.
And he's just
he's like, it's fine.
Level and stable.
Yes.
That's such a blessing.
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely.
Well, thank you for doing this with me today. It was great catching up.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Remember, authenticity is your superpower. Stay unapologetically yourself, and let's continue embracing our uniqueness together. Make sure you hit that follow button so you don't miss the next episode.